Dog culture in the US is getting completely out of hand. And this may be just from my personal experience. I don't know if we're not training the dogs anymore. I don't know if we're not training the kids anymore, because it seems like everybody's children and pets are kind of running off the rails. And maybe it's the backlash against the boomer generation being too strict on their kids, and now the millennials are like, we're gonna let everything off the leash. But it seems like that's applying to the dogs in particular, because I used to not feel this way as a kid. I used to feel like most people had their dogs under control. If anything, I liked them more than cats. I thought they were really cute, and I always dreamed of having a Pomeranian one day. Now, ironically, I'm actually dog sitting for my mom. We have a crusty white dog, it's a Maltese. And I'm particularly going to talk about big dogs in this video, because the little ones are really yappy and annoying, but the big dogs are when it starts to get out of hand, because it seems like the owners have less and less control over the dog, and like it can just do whatever it wants. I have a problem with that. The first thing is public places. I want to know, and you know it's real because I have my full notebook out written down of problems I've encountered recently. I'd say past 5 years. In the US, it seems like public spaces are completely overtaken by dogs, especially if you go outside. Like, you cannot go on a run or walk in peace without somebody's dog running up to you. And I actually dealt with this, I think it was 3 years ago. I was on a walk with my friend, and it was a nice night. Finally, one of those days after the winter where it's like 60, 70 degrees. We're going for a walk around her neighborhood, and suddenly there's this 4-year-old kid walking with a leashless pit bull. And I know everybody says the pit bulls, they're a bully breed, we can't be mean to them. Well, why have, every time I met a pit bull, why have they been a bully? Why are you letting them be a bully? Okay, so anyway, we're walking, and this pit bull storms up to us, and it was not happy. That's the thing. This was not like cute little, oh, he wants to play with it. No, this thing was out for blood. I was terrified. I looked for the nearest fence. My heart is beating. I jumped up on the fence. Unfortunately, it got to her. She's trying to like push it off her, and it, I think she had like shorts on or something, bit her leg, and she had to get a rabies shot. Bye. Why is that allowed? That's the thing, like, you're gonna see a 5-foot tall elderly woman walking a Rottweiler. What? That shouldn't be allowed. This needs to start being illegal at a certain point, because this is a safety hazard. The dog shouldn't be stronger than the owner. And that is what I keep encountering over and over again, because then when I am interacting with your dog and you can't get a handle on it, like you're grabbing the collar and it's stronger than you, pick a different breed. Pick a smaller breed that you can grab the collar, and I'm scared. Mainly this is unleashed dogs. And this doesn't apply to service dogs because they're super chill. You see them in the grocery store or wherever, and they're actually so cool. They have their vest on and they're just standing there, and I'm like, yo, this is how it should be. The unleashed ones though, that's when it's the problem. And there's nothing I love more than when it's always some like middle-aged dude and he has like a bigger dog, and then he'll just like kind of like snap, and then the dog's next to him. I'm like, this is what we should be doing. You can tell when somebody's trained their dog properly. Allergies, I've realized, are kind of the only way to get, oh my gosh, ew. Sorry guys, I'm on day 4 hair, and I'm chopped. I'm trying to oil train my hair, and it's not really going as planned, but I guess we'll be less chopped one day. But for now, this is what you get. So yeah, allergies are kind of the only way to get people to get their fucking dog off of you. And even then, sometimes you say, I have allergies. It's jumping, and they're just kind of like, he doesn't bite, he doesn't bite. You know, he doesn't normally act like this. I don't give a shit. If he doesn't bite, I do. I don't give a shit. If your dog doesn't bite, get it off me. Actually, get it off me. And it's to the point where it's uncomfortable. I'm sneezing, and I just don't like it. So please get it away. So the other thing I want to bring up is that not everybody loves dogs, and that is very hard for some people to fathom. At least in the US, it seems that if you say you don't like cats, you can have the ultimate slander against them. You can say, I think they're evil. I think they eat your remains when you die. I've heard stuff like that. I've heard crazy stuff about cats. Nobody bats an eye. If you say that they're evil and they're the spawns of Satan themselves, whatever, it's fine. The minute that I say, oh yeah, like I tend to prefer cats more, I'm not really a huge fan of dogs, there's this awkward silence, and it's kind of just, they kind of look at you and you can tell the gears are turning, and they're like, this girl's a psychopath. You're a I just don't know why I'm weird for like how I feel about this. And don't get me started on the barking. The barking, something about it triggers like the same response in my head as a baby crying, and it feels like I need to do something about it. It feels like something's wrong and the alarm bells are going off and somebody's in danger. And it's really weird too, because when they're outside, like right now I'm staying at my mom's, for instance, and the houses are fairly close together. So in backyards, I've had multiple mornings where 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., you just hear the owners are up, whatever, maybe they don't care. But that's not to say maybe there's an infant next door who's going to wake up crying now because Butterscotch, the 200-pound dog, is... I don't want that. Now I'm frightened. And now I feel like something is very wrong. Even if I'm telling myself logically nothing's wrong, or like if I'm in public, I'm in a store and I hear a baby crying, I'm like, I know nothing's wrong. I don't need to do anything. I guess the mom will take care of it. The dad will take care of it. Oh my God, the fact that I'm saying it. Sorry, everyone. But like something deep within me is like, you need to help. There is a problem right now. It activates the sympathetic nervous system, I guess, and suddenly it's fight, flight, freeze. It's 8 a.m. and it's just somebody's mutt outside behind the gate losing its mind. I don't like jumping. The jumping is where it starts to get problematic because, like I said earlier, the owners tend to be less powerful than the dog that they own. So when it starts jumping on strangers and you can't restrain it, that's a hazard. And it's always funny because it'll be all up in your face. And the only thing I'm thinking is this dog has the ability to like rip my face off. I heard about a girl who got her lips torn off by a dog. What the fuck? Come on. I don't want that. I really don't want that. I'm scared. Calling their name. Oh, when the owners call their name and then nothing happens. Please tell me you've encountered that. Or when the dog's freaking out, jumping on you, running around. You're trying to get away and you're clearly uncomfortable. And they're like, John. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. Someone's revving their engine. So yeah, they start, imagine a dog named John. That's so strange. The owner just kind of keeps saying the name over and over again. And it's like, John. Nothing's happening. They don't know what you're saying. And finally, my favorite of all time. He doesn't bite. He doesn't act like this normally. I don't believe you. I don't believe you that your dog does not act like that. He's been on the earth long enough. Actually, oh my gosh, I don't know if you've ever heard about those stories of, I almost called them snickerdoodles. The golden doodles and how they're very, like, not trained. It feels like a lot of dogs are now like that, where they're just menaces to everyone around them. But then the owners will just say, he's not normally like this. That doesn't make it silly or cute. It doesn't mean the hives on my arms are gonna go away. It doesn't mean I'm not afraid. And not everyone likes dogs. And if you feel the same way, let me know in the comments. This was kind of just a rant. It was a bit more unstructured. I just had to say this because it's been so long, and I've actually avoided social gatherings when I know there's going to be a particularly unruly dog, because I know that nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna have to put up with it and act like I like it, which is almost the most annoying part of it all. And it's even made me want to leave the US sometime. Okay, among a slew of other things I don't even want to bring up about our country right now, because here I have to be all like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of it. All right, bye y'all.